Channel. This is Night Watch.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. It used to be a convent before it was turned into a homeless shelter.
Tonight, though, there's nothing left of the more than 100-year-old building. Firefighters were called to Mormon Hall in New Riegel. That's about 10 miles south and east of Fostoria in Seneca County. Rodney Timms joins us there live tonight. What can you tell us, Rodney?
Well, Chris, it's a very stubborn fire that's continued to pose a problem for hours now. It's also put a drain on the county's water supply. As you can see behind me, there's still a lot of heavy smoke in the air right now. That's because the building is still on fire some 7 hours later. Now, nearly 100 firefighters from 11 departments have tried to meet this blaze head-on with little success. Now, a number of witnesses tell me that around 4:30 this afternoon, the 150-year-old convent caught fire on the first floor. The building is home to some 15 to 20 homeless residents. All but one made it out alive. An army of firefighters, EMS personnel, and police responded to the 150-year-old structure. Seneca County firefighters confirmed one person did in fact die in the blaze. It's unclear how the fire started, but witnesses and police say they arrested one of the residents who claimed responsibility for it. The blaze destroyed the former home for nuns, despite a quick response and intense efforts to contain it to the first floor. A number of tankers brought water from 3 to 4 miles away to keep the fire from spreading to adjacent homes.
So just a little smoke coming out of the upstairs windows there about in the middle of the building, and just kept getting a little bit worse, and then just spread real quick after about a half hour.
It started in the laundry room, we were told, and it spread quickly. We got down here with our department. Our men went in back with a line. They came back out and said that it was out of our hands, so we started calling mutual aid in. We've got probably at least 8 departments from Seneca County on the scene.
And Chris, the fire departments have continued to bring water from outside of the community. They were getting the water from some of the private ponds around here. Now I'm told they're getting the water from Fostoria. Initially, they told me early in the evening they were going to let this blaze just sort of burn itself down. But now I'm told they're actually going to try to save the structure so that they can do some investigating. So expect the crews, the fire crews, to be here throughout the night. Chris?
Okay, so despite the fact that someone has claimed responsibility for the fire, they're still trying to figure out exactly what caused it and if that person is indeed responsible.
That's right, Chris. They have not determined the cause of the fire just yet, but that person was, in fact, arrested, and the fire is under investigation.
Okay, Rodney Timms reporting tonight. Thanks, Rodney. And we will have more on the fire coming up on First News. There is no ID on the person who was killed in the fire yet.
Well, we're a week away from the 4th of July and sales of bottled rock.
Good morning. Today's Thursday, the 28th of June. Here's what's coming up on First News. An historic building goes up in flames in Seneca County, leaving one person dead.
And the good works of some Toledoans are being honored. I'm Alva Taylor downtown. We'll have details coming next.
Consumer Reports shows how getting the best pair of eyeglasses means knowing more than just your prescription. And a new theory about the Loch Ness Monster. We'll tell you about that next on First News.
Live from Toledo 11, the news channel. This is First News.
Good morning, 5:30 now on your Thursday morning. Welcome to it. A lot coming up in the next half hour. If you're planning on traveling for the 4th of July holiday, we're actually going to give you a list of the states that do and don't allow fireworks and all the legalities and details concerned with that. First, we're going to head over to Scott to talk about another very humid forecast today.
Shaping up to be very warm, very humid later this afternoon. We have cleared skies outside again this morning. A warm and muggy start. Temperatures are in the 60s in most areas. And it looks like as we head through the morning hours, hazy sunshine. By lunchtime, we'll be up to around 80. Later this afternoon, upper 80s again. We'll see some cloud cover build up again late this afternoon into the early parts of the evening. Today, though, the chance of the thunderstorms really just isn't there. There's not a lot of energy out there to support any thunderstorms. We did have a few yesterday during the afternoon, up till about 10:30. Then they just kind of all died out once the sun set there, and we went into the overnight. But looks like as we head into tomorrow, more hot and humid weather, temperatures near 90 with a chance of an isolated thunderstorm, and then relief as we head through the weekend. So stay tuned. It's coming if you're tired of this.
Those temperatures are finally going to come down a little bit. All right, thanks, Scott. Turning to the news now, as Scott just said, it's going to be hot and it's going to be muggy, and it also is another ozone action day. That means you should cut down on driving by walking or possibly carpooling. Also, charter bus rides are free on ozone action days. You're also asked to fill up your tank at night and to wait until evening to cut your grass. Lawn care equipment can create a lot of pollution. An out-of-control fire at a Tiffin area boarding house takes a life and forces up to 15 others back into the streets. About 20 different fire departments were called to help fight a blaze at the old Mormon Hall in New Riegel. The 150-year-old building had been a convent at one time, but in recent years it served as a boarding house for the homeless. We're a week away from the 4th of July, and sales of bottle rockets and firecrackers are